What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Make It Kustom. I'm Carl Fisher, and today we are gonna do a little bit of work on the wife's Caddy here. We did do the body drop, we got everything cut down, and now we gotta put some structure back into it, make sure it's strong so that we can lock it all back in place. So my idea for this body drop to help strengthen it as well as take care of any inner rocker rust is I'm gonna make inner rockers out of 10 gauge steel plate. So the 10 gauge plate is gonna be in a Z plate fashion. Like I said in the earlier video, I wanna cut the pinch weld off the bottom of the rocker. So in doing so, I need a flat piece to go at the bottom of the rocker, and then I need my inner rocker to come up, and then I need a new spot for my floor to attach to. So the Z plate will be the bottom of my rocker, the inner rocker, and then a tab for me to start doing my actual floor from. That inner rocker is gonna be 2.5 inches taller than the old inner rocker so that we've got our 2.5 inch drop with the floor. That's the whole point of body dropping, obviously. So let's get into it. This is the inner rocker. You can see all the braces that we cut off. So what I'm gonna do to start this channel process with the body drop is I've had some, I'd call them Z pieces of metal made. They're not really a Z because they're 90 degrees, but it's 2 inches, 7 inches, and 2 3/8 inches made out of 10 gauge plate. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have that 2 3/8 come from the bottom of the rocker. I'm gonna cut this pinch off, and then it's gonna come up 7 inches and then come across 2 inches. And what that's gonna do, being 10 gauge plate, is that's gonna give an incredible amount of strength to my inner rocker. Also gonna double as a skid plate basically for the bottom of the rocker, since we're gonna lay rocker. We're gonna be dropping this thing on pavement all over town. And then the 2 inches on top, that little flange, is gonna be a perfect spot for me to come off of with my cross members and for the top floor to sit down on. You can get stock style floors. You can't buy 1960 Cadillac floors for whatever reason. Not enough people are doing these cars. But you can get 1959 Impala floors, which are basically the same, except here in a Cadillac, you can see there's like a little filler piece. It's because Cadillacs are big boy cars, big girl cars. It's my wife's car, she's a girl. Anyway, I'm not using the stock floor. I tried to order one. It kind of works out better for me anyway that I didn't get it. I guess they're discontinued, out of stock, whatever the hell. So I'm gonna make a full custom floor for this car. I'm actually kind of excited to do that anyway. So I did get the panels for underneath the rear seat. So these panels I'm gonna do. But tonight, I want to get those Z pieces in. So I'm gonna be cutting and chopping and, you know, destroying some of the pieces that are left from the old cross members. Get all these guys cleaned off, because our new piece is going to be right against that. We'll prep this, get that nice and clean, put some E-coat on it, not E-coat, weld-through primer, protect it, and then get those pieces in. So here we go. now I'm messing with the rear floor pans underneath the back seat here. And one thing that a lot of people run into, including myself on every single aftermarket panel, is that, you know, the stampings, they aren't perfect. You probably hear people complain about it, or you've complained about it yourself doing them. So something that you kind of got to know how to do is bump around a panel so that it fits right. I've just kind of accepted that as a way of life. You can't expect an aftermarket panel, especially a floor pan, to be perfect. So let me show you what the difference is of these panels and what I've done to start correcting them. This panel I haven't touched yet. This is the driver's side rear seat area. Basically, you can see that this is not even anywhere near where it's supposed to be. I expect that originally this line continued to this one. That's what I expect. I could be wrong. I already threw away mine and they were so rotten anyway, probably wouldn't be able to tell. And then there's this line here that I expect would have gone to this line. This is kind of the X-frame underneath. It's under the seat. Nobody's gonna see it, but you should care about this stuff if you know how to easily fix it. So what I'm gonna show you how to do is just how to bump around a panel to make it fit. This is the side I already started on. I'm gonna make it a little bit nicer, but I moved this one over. Oh, there it is. This one's not even there. It's like barely a lump, right? You can see where they were trying to be onto this, which they're not. So I bumped mine around and got it pretty close to being onto there. And the same thing with this is, here is the spot I was talking about that it should flow into that. So now it's getting close. I'm gonna show you how to take kind of just a chunk of metal. I've got all sorts of dollies that I hammer on, but really it's just a heavy chunk of metal that you can clamp in a vise and you can bump this panel around and make it fit. So let's get to it. All right, here's what we're looking at. Don't mind this cut. I think that's gonna line up later. There's a bit of a boo-boo, but this is the top of the line. This is the bottom of the line, and that's where it is. So it's gonna move over almost 3/4 of an inch, maybe more. This one here, you can see, here's the bottom, here's their bottom. Not even close. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. It's sort of what I did on the other side, but that's basically how I'm going to mark it, and now I'm going to tap it. All right, so I got them fitting pretty good. Now they're lining up pretty decent. Both sides here. Had to kind of give this a bit of a roll. Maybe this is going too far, guys, but I'm having fun anyway. So now what I'm gonna do is pull off one side. I'm gonna measure where the blind side of this brace is underneath here. Drill all the holes for the spot welds. Drill these spot weld holes. these ones back there, and then we'll start cutting them in. That's it. A little bit of love. Rear seat pans look nice. Why not, right? All right, so we got quite a bit done. We got the rear floor pans all put in. These are aftermarket pans. You saw in the videos how much work it took to get these body lines to line up. Not a lot of people spend that much time and nobody else is gonna see it, but that's the way I like to do it anyway. I'd like to make all my welds nice and smooth and just sort of do the best job I can. But that worked out really well, and I got to spot weld it to the top of my Z plates. The cross member for the rear of this X frame, this is the original cross member. I did not change that. That is nice and structurally solid now. It's welded to my Z plates, so that's all put back in. And these plates themselves, I think, turned out excellent. I couldn't ask for anything better. It's an incredible amount of strength added to this car by having 10 gauge inner rockers like this, and also the 10 gauge plate at the bottom. If we just left that sheet metal and we were driving around scraping stuff, well, that sheet metal is going to get scraped off. We got 10 gauge steel solid protection at the bottom of this car now. Because it's body dropped and because this is there, now the actual lowest point of the car is 10 gauge thick steel. It's strong and it's never going to wear away. The other thing I did, like you saw, is make these body mounts. These are CNC cut. I designed them. They're a body mount that's going to handle the stresses of the front of the car. The original body mounts were pretty rusty and they were not usable, so I went ahead and made those new. And I'm pretty happy with it now. I mean, at least the car is solid. We've got the main body mounts of this X-frame are tied in, they're welded, they're done, and they're tied to something on the body that's super solid. I think the next part of doing this build is gonna be locking in all the body drop cuts. So the back of these wheel wells, the package tray, the trunk drop downs, and then after that, we're gonna start building our custom floor. So thanks a lot for checking out the Caddy update. I'm really excited for this car. I know Christina is too. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to like, hit subscribe, click notifications if you found any value in the video. We're here twice a week, and we're happy to have you. So have a great day, everybody. Check you later.